Om Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Sahana Bhavato Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryankaravavahai तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. Sachin, put in the group, baby. Om. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Guru Pavana Pureshaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Krishnaya. We have uttered the next sixth dashakam. Shashtam dashakam. As I said, we are going to see the whole Bhagavan's Vyashti Rupam. Vyashti Rupam means Virat Rupam. We are going to invoke in this small form of Krishna the whole Jagat. I mean, the whole Jagat is to be seen as Bhagavan. Let us see here Shashtam Dashakam. Yevam Chaturdasha Jaganmayatangatasya Patalamesha Tava Padatalam Vadanti Padodvadeshamapi Devarasatalante Gulpadvayam Khalu Mahatalamadbhutatman. Evam Chaturdasha Jaganmayatangatasya Patalamesha Tava Padatalam Vadanti Padodvadeshamapi Devarasatalante Gulpadvayam Khalu Mahatalamadbhutatman. So in this very first verse, Bhattadiji addresses Bhagavan. You can see all the words in vocative case, let us recognize first. You can see he addresses Bhagavan as Isha. Padordvadeshamapi Deva. There he addresses as Deva. Second line, Patalam Isha. That word Isha. Isha. And third line, Deva. And the fourth line, fourth means the Adbhutatman, the three words. Isha, Deva, Adbhutatman. These three words are words how Bhattadaji addresses Bhagavan. First he says Isha. So Ishaha means the one who rules, ruler. It's the one who lends existence is the ruler. So Bhagavan as the truth is the one who lends existence to the entire world. Like just as water lends existence to the ocean. Without water, there cannot be ocean. Therefore, Bhagavan as the very reality is the one who lends existence for the whole Jagat. We see Bhagavan here in a small Krishna's form, but Bhagavan is not just a small form. Bhagavan is everything. Because Bhagavan is the very truth of very truth. Beyond whom, without whom, nothing can exist. Nothing exists. That truth is said to be looked upon as the ruler of the whole, the Lord of the whole. So he addresses first Bhagavan as Isha. In the second line, he addresses Bhagavan as Deva. the beauty is the word Isha stands for Sat and Deva stands for Chit. And Bhagavan is of the nature of very effulgence. Effulgence means what is Bhagavan's Swarupam? Bhagavan's essential nature is pure knowledge, pure consciousness. So Bhagavan, who is in the pure consciousness, is the one who is of nature of effulgence. There's no light greater than the light of consciousness. So Bhagavan, he's addressed as Deva, or effulgent Lord. The word Isha, or ruler, the word Isha implies here the Bhagavan being the very existence. Deva implies Bhagavan being the very consciousness. Then next word is Adbhutatman. Adbhutam means wonder. You all know. Adbhutatman means one who is in whom of very wonder. You are the wonder. Bhagavan is the greatest wonder. Therefore, he Adbhutatman. Still, only Vastu, but it shines as the whole Jagat. Isn't it a wonder? Only Vastu, without whose presence Jagat cannot exist, who alone is in the whom of the Jagat. Therefore, Adbhutam, Adbhutatman. So, He Isha, He Deva, He Adbhutatman, having addressed Bhagavan, thus, he says, Yevam Chaturdasha Jaganmayatangatasya. Shastram talks about 14 worlds. 7 worlds below, 7 worlds above. All the 14 worlds together constitute what? The entire Prapancha. So 14 worlds constitute the entire universe, cosmos. And all the 14 worlds, the entirety of the Jagat, nothing but Bhagavan. So there he says, Chaturdasha Jagan Mayatam Gatasya Gurvarapa, Hey Isha, Evam, in this manner, in which the word Evam connects us with the previous Dashakam. Evam means in this. Evam is an indeclinable word, which means in this manner. So, in this manner means in which manner? In the manner it was explained in the previous Dashakam. In this manner, how everything came into existence from Bhagavan. It is Bhagavan Shakti alone has become the universe. Therefore, in this manner, you alone have become what? The entire universe of 14 worlds. Chaturdasha Jagan Mayatam Gatasya Varapa of it is you, it is the feet of you, your feet, your both feet means what? Who alone has become the entire universe of 14 worlds. Chaturdasha Jaganmayatam Gatasya Padatalam, the feet of you, Patalam Vadanti. Tava Padatalam Patalam Vadanti. So Puranas reveal as what? Your feet as the Patalam is nothing but your feet of the 14 worlds. So the Pata, your feet alone form the Patala. Okay, next. Pada Urdhva Desham Api Deva Te Rasatalam. Te Pada Urdhva Desham. The area of the upper part of your feet alone symbolizes the Rasatalam. Rasatalam is symbolized by the area of your upper part of your feet. Pada Urdhva Desham. Api also Deva Rasatalam. Te Padordhva Desham Rasatalam. The upper part of your feet alone symbolizes the Rasatalam. You have seen 2 words already. Gulpadvayam Kalu Mahatalam Adbhutatman. And the 2 ankles they stand for the Mahatalam. The 3rd word from the lowest category, if you see, Mahatalam, nothing but Mahatalam is symbolized by your two ankles. Gulpaha, singular. Gulpadvayam, two. Dvau gulpo is a gulpadvayam. The two gulpas, two ankles, stand for Mahatalam. Oh, Adbhutatman. This is the first verse. We'll move on to the next verse. In the first verse presents what Bhagavan's feet, Bhagavan's the upper part of the feet, then also ankles. Patala, Rasatala, then Mahatala. Three words are covered. Next verse. Janghe tala talamatho sutalancha janu kinchorubhagayugalam vitalatale dve. Janghe tala talamatho sutalancha janu kinchorubhagayugalam vitalatale dve. Kshonitalam jaghanamambaramanganaabhirvakshascha shakranilayastava chakrapane. Janghe talatalamatho sutalancha janu kinchorubhagayugalam vitalatale dve. Kshonitalam jaghanamambaramanganaabhirvakshascha shakranilayastava chakrapane. Janghe talatalamatho sutalancha janu kinchorubhagayugalam vitalatale dve. Kshonitalam jaghanamambaramanganaabhirvakshascha shakranilayastava chakrapane. Janghe talatalamatho sutalancha janu kinchorubhagayugalam vitalatale dve. Kshonitalam jaghanamambaramanganaabhirvakshascha shakranilayastava chakrapane. Janghe talatalamatho sutalancha janu kinchorubhagayugalam vitalatale dve. Kshonitalam jaghanamambaramanganaabhirvakshascha shakranilayastava chakrapane. So here how Bhagavan Bhattacharya addresses Bhagavan, that we have to see first. Chakrapane. Hey Chakrapane. So Chakram Pano Yasya Saha Chakrapanihi. We know that in Sanskrit class. Chakram Pano. The one who is endowed with the Sri Sudarshana Chakram in his hand. Therefore, so Chakrapanihi. So in Vokatrike address Hey Chakrapane. O Lord, you who are endowed with the Chakram, Sudarshana Chakram in your hand, having addressed Bhagavan as Chakrapane, Bhattacharya says, Janghe. See, Jangha is Strilinga Shabdaha. Jangha means shank. The part below the knee is Jangha. She says, and the two Janghas, therefore Janghe. Okay, two Jangha, so she says Jangha Dvayam. So Janghe. Janghe is a dual word. Like Mala, Male, Malaha, Jangha, Janghe. Both shanks, Gvarapa, your both forms symbolize what? Talatalam. Janghe talatalam. So after Mahatalam, what do you have? Talatalam. So Gvarapa, your two shanks symbolize Talatala Lokaha. Talatalam Athaha. Thereafter, Athaha. No, this is Atha, that Then Sutalam cha Janu. Janu, see, Janu is one Janu is knee, one knee. Janu, two knees. Both your knees symbolize Sutalam. Next word is Sutalam. We already covered five lower lokas. Sutalam cha Janu. Now you have to imagine, visualize Bhagavan. Okay, you see, when you see Bhagavan's shanks, oh, Bhagavan's two shanks stand for Talatala Lokaha. Now you have to shift attention from the shanks to Bhagavan's knees. So you have to start slowly from the feet to the upper part of the feet, to ankles, to the shanks, to the knees. You must travel with Bhattarji to meditate upon Bhagavan. Then Janu, the two knees, Bhagavan's two knees stand for what? Sutalam. Thereafter, Kincha, Urubhaga Yugalam. Kim cha. Kim separately is an interrogative pronoun. Cha and. We put together kincha further. Kim separately means what? Cha separately means and. When you put together further. Okay, kincha further or more. Further. Then what? Uru bhaga yugalam. Uruhu. Uru is a thigh, singular. Uru. Uru bhaga yugalam. Bhaga yugalam means the yugalam means both. So the part of lower part of your thighs, both the thighs, the lower part of both of your thighs. Yugalam means two. Uru bhaga yugalam means part of both your thighs stand for Vitalam. Kincha uru bhaga yugalam Vitalam. Kinchoru bhaga yugalam. Kinchoru bhaga yugalam Vitalatale dve. So one, if you see the whole, take the whole thigh, you see it has two parts. The two lower parts of your thighs stand for Vitalam. And then upper part of the thighs stand for Atalam. Vitalam, Atalam. Vitala, Atalam. Vitalam, Atalam. In dual, Vitalatale. The two words Vitala Loka and Atala Loka are symbolized by two parts of the lower and upper parts of both your thighs. Okay, lower part and upper part. You take the whole thigh as two parts. Okay, the two thighs are there. You see the lower parts of the thighs as Vitala and upper part of the thigh as Atala. Therefore, he says, Kinchoru bhaga yugalam Vitalatale dve. Kincha uru bhaga yugalam Vitala atale. Vitala atale dve. So the lower and upper parts of the thighs stand for Vitala Loka and Atala Loka. Finished. All lokas have gone now. Kinchoru bhaga yugalam Vitalatale dve. So all the worlds are below Bhagavan's hip only. Vitalatalam. Now we have to see, start from the feet, go to the upper part of the feet, then go to the shanks, then see ankles, then shanks, then see Bhagavan's knees, then Bhagavan, the two parts of Bhagavan's both the thighs. Uru bhaga yugalam Vitala atale dve. Gvarpa. These two worlds, dve Vitala atale, two worlds, dve means two. Two worlds, Vitalam and Atalam, are symbolized by two parts, upper and lower parts of both your thighs. Kinchoru, kincha urubhaga yugalam vitala atalatale dve. Kinchoru bhaga yugalam vitalatale dve. We do not know what these lokas are. When you see Bhagavan's feet, then Bhagavan's ankles, we must be able to visualize Bhagavan in this manner. We have covered all by seeing Bhagavan's feet, upper part of the feet, ankles, shanks, and knees, and lower and upper parts of the thighs. Until seeing up to that part, you have covered Bhagavan in the form of all the lower worlds. Now we move to next part. Kshonitalam Jaghanamambaramanganaabhirvakshascha shakranilayastava chakrapane. Kshonitalam Jaghanamambaramanganaabhirvakshascha shakranilayastava chakrapane. So here, Bhattacharya says, Kshonitalam. Kshonitalam, Jaghanam, Ambaram, Anga. Here, in the Bhagavan Bhattacharya also addresses Bhagavan as Anga. The word Anga is a vocative case. Hey, Anga. So when Anga means it's also an expression of endearment. Hey, Anga means, oh, Gurvarappa. That's the meaning. Anga, the word Anga doesn't have any other meaning. Anga, Gurvarappa. Kshonitalam, Jaghanam. Kshonitalam means the hip area. Kshonitalam, Jaghanam. Jaghanam. Ambaram, if you break it, Ambaram, Anga. Ambaram, Anga. Then Nabhihi. Nabhihi, Vakshascha. Shakranilayaha, Tava Chakrapani. So Jaghanam means the hip part. Kshonitalam, like Kshitihi, also means earth. Kshonitalam means the earth area we say, but you can say earth. Kshonitalam is another word for Kshitihi, earth. So Kshonitalam, Jaghanam means the hip. So Bhagavan's hip, now you have moved slowly from where? You come up to the thighs, and after that, the lower part of the hip actually. Now next to what you see is Bhagavan's hip. So Jaghanam, the hip, symbolizes Kshonitalam, which is Bhulokaha. Kshonitalam is Bhuloka, earth where we are. Okay, we are all in Bhagavan's hip part. We are not below, we are neither above. So Kshonitalam Jaghanam, Gurvarappa. Jaghanam, your hip symbolizes the Kshonitalam, the earth, Bhulokaha. Thereafter, Nabhihi. Hey Anga, hey Gurvarappa. Nabhihi means navel. Bhagavan's navel symbolizes Ambaram. So the word Ambaram literally means space. It means a sky. Different meanings are there. Ambaram, here is, you should take it as intermediary world also. Ambaram, intermediary space. Space, Ambaram. So Bhagavan's navel is what? Intermediary space, Ambaram. Then Vakshaha. After the navel, you see Bhagavan's chest. Now we have to shift attention. See Bhagavan, Gurvarappa in front of you. See his chest now. Now we have seen already Bhagavan's hip. The whole Bhuloka is symbolized by Bhagavan's hip. Then Nabhihi, Ambaram. Ambaram, Nabhihi. Bhagavan's navel symbolizes what? The intermediary space. Then Vakshaha. Now we have shifted our attention from Bhagavan's navel to chest. Now we all see Bhagavan's chest. Vakshaha. See, Vakshas is the word actually. Vakshas Shabdaha. In nominative case, it becomes Vakshaha. So Vakshaha cha means Vakshasthalam. Your chest, Guruvarappa, your chest is what? Shakra Nilayaha, your chest. Shakra Nilayaha. Bhagavan's chest is the Shakraha means Indra. Nilayaha means abode. Shakra Nilayaha, abode of Indra. What is abode of Indra? Swargaha. Therefore, Guruvarappa, your chest symbolizes Swargaha, heaven, place of Indra. Indra Lokaha is otherwise said to be Surga Lokaha, which is Shakra Nilayaha. Indra's place is Swarga, is symbolized by your chest. Tava Vakshaha Shakra Nilayaha. So you have covered up to Swarga. So Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, Suvarloka. You covered all the three worlds. Where is Bhuloka? When you see Bhagavan's hip, you are seeing Bhuvarloka. Bhuloka. When you see Bhagavan's navel, you are seeing Bhuvarloka. When you see Bhagavan's chest, you are seeing Suvarloka. Bhuhu Bhuvaha Suvaha. Okay, Swargaloka. I have seen. Chakra. This is the meaning of this verse. Janghe tala talamatho sutalancha janu kincho janu. Okay, because dual. Janghe tala talamatho sutalancha janu kinchoru bhagayugalam vitalatale dve. Kshonitalan jaghanamambaramanganaabhirvakshascha shakranilayastava chakrapani. Kshonitalan jaghanamambaramanganaabhirvakshascha shakranilayastava chakrapani. Okay, we have covered up to Bhagavan's chest, which symbolizes Swargaloka, Indra's place. Move on to third verse. From chest, we have to shift our attention from chest to Bhagavan's chest to Bhagavan's neck. Griva mahastava mukhancha janastapastu. Griva mahastava mukhancha janastapastu. Phalam shirastava samastamayasya satyam. Evan jaganmayatano jagadashritayrapi. Anyairnibaddhava pushe bhagavan namaste. Grivamahastava mukhancha janastapastu. Phalam shirastava samastamayasya satyam. Evan jaganmayatano jagatayirapyanyairnibaddhava pushe bhagavan namaste. You can break it also. Evan jaganmayatano jagadashritayirapyanyairnibaddhava pushe bhagavan namaste. Can you say that way? You can break it if you want to your convenience. Evan jaganmayatanor jagadashritayrapi. Evan jaganmayatano jagadashritayrapi. Anyairnibaddhava pushe bhagavan namaste. Jagadashritayrapi, we should not be too long. Evan jaganmayatano jagadashritayrapi. Anyairnibaddhava pushe bhagavan namaste. Otherwise, Evan jaganmayatano jagadashritayirapyanyairnibaddhavapushe Bhagavan namaste. Okay. Now, when you shift your attention from Bhagavan's chest to Bhagavan's neck, Griva. What is Griva? Griva is the Maharlokaha. Maharlok. Griva Mahaha. Neck is Maharloka. Then Tava Mukham cha Janaha. Now, this is Janaloka. Next is Janalokaha. So, we have seen Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, Suvarloka. Next is Maharloka. So, Maharloka is symbolized by Bhagavan's neck. Griva Mahaha Tava. Tava Griva Mahaha. Dwarapa, your neck symbolizes Maharloka. Thereafter, Mukhancha Janaha. Your face symbolizes Janalokaha. Maharloka, after that is Janalokaha. Your neck symbolizes Maharloka, then your face symbolizes Janalokaha. Janalokaha. Thereafter, Griva Mahastava Mukhancha Janastapastu Phalam Shirastava Samastamayasya Satyam. Then Mukhancha Janaha. So your face symbolizes Janalokaha. Tapaha tu Phalam. Phalam is a forehead. So forehead, Bhagavan's Phalam is forehead. What is forehead? Tapolokaha. So Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapoloka, all higher lokas now. So Bhagavan's forehead symbolizes Tapolokaha. When you hereafter, when you see Bhagavan's forehead with all churnam, that is symbolizes Tapoloka. You have seen Tapoloka. If you are seeing Bhagavan's forehead means you are seeing Tapoloka. Phalam Shirastava Samastamayasya, the Tapoloka. Phalam Griva Mahaha, Tava Griva Mahaha, Mukham cha Janalokaha, Tapaha tu Phalam. Your Tapoloka is symbolized by your forehead. Then Shiraha. What does Bhagavan's head symbolize? Samastamayasya Satyam. Okay. Gvarapa, your head, Bhagavan is Samastamayaha. Samastamayaha means the one who alone is in the form of entirety is called Samastamayaha. So Bhagavan who is in the form of entirety of the universe is Samastamayaha. Your Samastamayasya Gvarapa, you who are in the form of the entirety of the universe, and your head, Shiraha Satyam. Satyam here does not mean truth. Satyam here stands for Satyalokaha. Your head symbolizes Satyaloka. You covered all the lokas now. So Griva Mahaha, then Mukham Janalokaha. Face symbolizes Janaloka. Forehead symbolizes Tapoloka. Head symbolizes Satyaloka. When you see Bhagavan's head, that is the highest of all the 14 worlds. Satyaloka is symbolized by Bhagavan's head. Therefore, who is Bhagavan? Samastamayaha. Dwarapa, the head of you who alone are in the form of the entire universe, symbolizes Satyalokaha. Shiraha Satyam. Samastamayasya Tava Shiraha Satyalokaha. Evam. Okay. Phalam, we have to, all this way you can't break it. Grivamahastava mukhancha janastapastu phalam shirastava samastamayasya satyam. Yevan jaganmayatano jagadashitairapyanyairnibaddhava pushe Bhagavan namaste. Evam, in this manner, Jaganmayatano Jagadashitairapi. So again, Jaganmaya, see Samastamayaha, Jaganmayaha, same meaning. Okay? Not two different words. Two different words, meaning is the same. Samastamayaha means one who alone is in the form of the entirety of the universe. Jaganmayaha means one who is in the form of the Jagat, universe. Same meaning. One who is in the form of the entirety of the whole or everything. One who is in the form of the universe. Jaganmayaha and Samastamayaha. So Jaganmaya Tanuhu. Tanuhu means body. Guruvarappa, your form, your body is nothing but the entire universe is your Rupam. Entire universe is your body. The one who has the entire universe as his body is said to be Jaganmaya Tanuhu. So Jaganmaya Tanoho is a Visarga. So sixth case, Jaganmaya Tanuhu is a Ukaranta Pullinga Shabdaha. It's a nominative. Jaganmaya Tanoho, Guruvarappa, you who has the entire universe as your body, it's Jaganmaya Tanu. Jaganmaya Tanu, or you cannot take it as adjective, vocative also. But here, Jaganmaya Tanoho, like a Guru, Jaganmaya Tano, you can take it as vocative case word also. But here you can take it as sixth case. Jaganmaya Tanoho, evam Jagadashritaihi api anyaihi. See, Jagad Ashritaihi. Jagad Ashrita means all the beings which are living here, depending upon the Jagat, universe, this world. Jagad Ashritaihi api anyaihi. So not only the 14 worlds are you, all the 14 worlds constitute your body. Not the entire universe form your body. What about other beings who are living in this universe? Therefore, Jagad Ashritaihi api anyaihi nibaddha vapuhu. So Jaganmayatano Jagadashritaihi api anyaihi nibaddha vapushe. Again, fourth case. Nibaddha vapush is the word there. Jagad Ashritaihi api anyaihi nibaddha vapushe means the one whose form, nibaddha vapuhu means the one whose form is constituted of all other things which exist as part and parcel of these worlds. So nothing is outside of Bhagavan's Rupam. Jagadashritaihi api anyaihi nibaddha vapuhu. Bhagavan means what? Bhagavan's form is constituted of what? All those things which are also existing in these worlds. Jagadashritaihi api anyaihi nibaddha vapushe. Bhagavan te namaha. Guruvarappa, the last word, Bhattadaji addresses Bhagavan as Bhagavan. When you address Bhagavan as in our vocative case, Bhagavan, O Lord, and you all know the meaning of this word Bhagavan. We have seen in the very first verse, open. The first Dashakam, 10th verse, gives you the meaning of the word Bhagavan. One who is endowed with sixfold virtues in equal measure is Bhagavan. Bhaga, you know the meaning of the word Bhaga, already we have seen in the first Dashakam. Bhaga stands for sixfold virtues. And one who is endowed with the Bhaga, the sixfold virtues in equal measure is Bhagavan. You know the meaning. So, in a vocative case, Bhagavan, O Lord, Hey Bhagavan Guruvarappa, Te Namaha, salutations unto you, whose body is in the form of the entire cosmos, and whose body is constituted of all the beings which exist as part and parcel of this universe. Jagadashritaihi api anyaihi nibaddha vapushe Bhagavan te namaha. Salutations unto you. This is the meaning of the verse. Grivamahastava mukhancha janastapastu phalam shirastava samastamayasya satyam yevan jaganmayatano jagadashitairapi anyairnibaddhavapushe Bhagavan namaste. So in these first three verses, in the first three verses, Bhattacharya already covered what? All the 14 worlds, so the entire cosmos of 14 worlds and everything existing in these worlds, everything nothing but Bhagavan's body. The whole Jagat constitutes, the universe constitutes Bhagavan's body. Means Bhagavan Rupa. Next verse. त्वद्ब्रह्मरन्ध्रपदमीश्वर विश्वकन्द छन्दांसि केशवघनास्तव केशपाशाः उल्लासि चिल्लियुगलन्द्रुहिणस्य गेहम् पक्ष्माणि रात्रिदिवसौ सविता च नेत्रे. This is the only dashakam, Bhattacharya presents easiest dashakam of the whole Narayanam is this dashakam. Otherwise, he uses all long compounds everywhere. Very simple dashakam is this. So we are able to cover faster. Tvad Brahmaran, because it is I want you to see, to be meditative in the very class itself. That is why I'm going very slowly. त्वद्ब्रह्मरन्ध्रपदमीश्वर विश्वकन्द छन्दांसि केशवघनास्तव केशपाशाः त्वद्ब्रह्मरन्ध्रपदमीश्वर विश्वकन्द छन्दांसि केशवघनास्तव केशपाशाः त्वद्ब्रह्मरन्ध्रपदमीश्वर विश्वकन्द छन्दांसि केशवघनास्तव केशपाशाः उल्लासि चिल्लियुगलन्द्रुहिणस्य गेहम् पक्ष्माणि रात्रिदिवसौ सविता च नेत्रे. त्वद्ब्रह्मरन्ध्रपदमीश्वर विश्वकन्द छन्दांसि केशवघनास्तव केशपाशाः उल्लासि चिल्लियुगलन्द्रुहिणस्य गेहम् पक्ष्माणि रात्रिदिवसौ सविता च नेत्रे. Now he says, Tvad Brahma Randhra Padam Ishvara Vishwakanda. So here Bhattacharya addresses Bhagavan as Ishvara. Tvad Brahma Randhram Padam Brahmarandra Padam. See, the Brahmarandra Padam is actually Brahmarandram. We all know the soft part. It's called psychic orifice, the hole. It's not hole, there's a soft part on the top of the head, the skull. There's a Brahmarandram, there's a hole. That is called Brahma Randram. So the Brahma Randram symbolizes what? Brahma Randram, Vishwakanda, Ishvara, Vishwakanda. Again, Bhattaji, the two words Vishwakanda also is a vocative case. Vishwakanda, Kandaha means is root. You know, in Sanskritam, Skandaha means root. Kanda also means root. That's why in the Subramanya is called Kandan, Kandaswami, Skandaha. Skandaha, Kandaha. Kandaha is root. So the root of the universe means the cause of the universe. Vishwasya Kandaha, Vishwakandaha. So, source of the universe, the root of the universe, the cause of the universe, very existence of the universe, Vishwakanda, Isha, O Lord. He is also addressing Bhagavan as Keshava. Hey Keshava, hey Isha, hey Vishwakanda. How Bhattacharya addresses, O Lord, O universe, truth, cause of the universe, the only source of the existence of the entire universe. Hey Keshava, O Lord, Brahmarandram Chandamsi. Brahmarandram Chandamsi. All Chandas is a Sakaranta Apusakalinga Shabdaha. Chandas means Vedaha. Chandamsi Vedaha. So, Bhagavan's Brahmarandram symbolizes all the Vedas. So, when you see Bhagavan's head, and you must visualize Bhagavan's Brahmarandram. The Brahmarandram symbolizes what? All the four Vedas. That is why Murti Darshanam so auspicious. Why? Because it stands for everything. Murti is not Bhagavan. It's a small, tiny Murti is not just the Murti. Why? We say all the way, go to Guruvayur and have Bhagavan's darshanam or have Bhagavan's picture. Because that picture symbolizes all the four Vedas you bow to. When you bow to Bhagavan Guruvayurappa, you are bowing to all four Vedas. Where are the four Vedas? He is Brahmarandram. We cannot do Namaskaram to all four Vedas. Just bow to Guruvayurappa and all the four Vedas you have bowed to. Because Brahmarandram symbolizes Vedas. Chandam. So, Vishwa, Brahmarandram, Chandamsi. Three words are vocative kids. Ishvara, Vishwakanda, Keshava, Brahmarandram, Chandamsi. Then what? Ghanaha, Tava Kesha Pashaha. Guruvayurappa, clouds. Ghanaha. See, Ghanaha means a heavy loaded cloud. A cloud pregnant with water is what? Rainwater is Ghanaha. So Ghanaha, all the Meghaha, okay, all the clouds are symbolized by Bhagavan's hair. You don't need to go out and search for clouds. When you see Bhagavan's Kesha Pashaha. Kesha Pashaha literally means rope. But here Kesha Pashaha means the matted locks of hair. The matted hair. Kesha Pashaha Guruvayurappa, the matted locks of hair, your matted locks of hair symbolize what? All the dark clouds we are pregnant with the water. Tava Kesha Pashaha Ghanaha. Then Ullasi Chilli Yugalam. Ullasi Chilli Yugalam. See, chilli means eyebrow. Yugalam means Yugalam stand for always pair. A set of two is called Yugalam. Chilli Yugalam means both eyebrows. The two eyebrows. And how are they? Ullasanti. Lasati means shines. Ullasati beautifully shine. So Ullasi Chilli Yugalam means your two eyebrows which are shining. Means what? Your beautiful shining two eyebrows. Means which are visibly there. Bhagavan's eyebrows symbolize what? Druhinasya Geham. Druhinaha. is one of the names of Lord Brahma. See, by the time you complete Narayaniyam, you would have learned quite a number of names of Brahma. Not only Bhagavan Vishnu, so many names are there for Lord Brahma. And every name has reason also why that name, Brahma, is known by different names. So Druhinaha is the name of Brahma. So Druhinasya Geham, abode of Brahma. Druhinasya Geham. See, Satyaloka we have already seen, which is Satyaloka. But now it's an abode of Brahma. So Brahma's residence is Druhinasya Geham, literally means Griham, house. Druhinasya Geham. So, but this is your shining two eyebrows symbolize the abode of Brahma, Brahma's house. Druhinasya Geham. Then Pakshmani Ratri Divaso Savita cha netre. Pakshmani, eyelash. Pakshman is a nakaranta apusakalingi shabda. Therefore, Pakshmani, eyelashes. How you can say for plural? Because if you take eyelids, no, upper one, lower one, and all that becomes plural. The Pakshmani, see the eyelids, eyelash which open and close. Also, eyelashes, they symbolize what? Ratri Divas. So, night and day. When you see Bhagavan's just eyelashes, you understand what? Night and day. So, two beautiful phenomena, constantly arriving, departing phenomena, night and day, night and day, night and day, are symbolized by Bhagavan's Pakshmani, Savitacha Netre, and two eyes, always Bhagavan's eyes symbolize the sun, all sources of light. Usually we say, in Trambaka mantra, we say Trambakam Yajamahe, there Trambakaha, Lord Shiva is Trambakaha. There also we say three eyes are what? Sun, moon and fire. So Trikalagyaha also, it implies Trikalagyattvam also. So here, Savitacha Netre, Netram, Netre, two eyes. Gvarappa, both your eyes symbolize Savita, sun. Savita is a Rikaranta Pullinga Shabda, Savitru Shabda. Nominative case Savita. Therefore, Savita, Surya Bhagavan, Suryaha is also known as Savita. Therefore, Savitacha Netre, sun is symbolized by your two eyes. When you see Bhagavan's eyes, you see, oh, Surya Bhagavan. You are seeing Surya Bhagavan in the form of Bhagavan's eyes. And Bhagavan's eyes symbolize Surya Bhagavan. Beautiful. Tvad Brahma Randha Pada. If you really memorize these verses and remember which part symbolize which, okay, which part of Bhagavan symbolizes which phenomenon, if you understand, and if you can repeatedly see that focus attention on Bhagavan's, this description of Bhagavan's Rupam, this becomes Virat Upasanam, Vishwarupa Upasanam. There's nothing which is outside of Bhagavan. Even unknown worlds also you already see in the form of Bhagavan. Tvad Brahma Randhra Padamishwara Vishwakanda Chandamsi Keshava Ghanastava Kesha Pashaha Ullasi Chilli Yugalan Druhinasya Geham Pakshmani Ratri Divaso Savita cha Netre Nissesha Vishwarachana cha Kataksha Mokshaha Nissesha Vishwarachana cha Kataksha Mokshaha Karnau Disho Shviyugalan Tavanasike Dve Karnau Disho Shviyugalan Tavanasike Dve Lobhatrape cha Bhagavan Adharottaroshthau लोभत्रपे च भगवन्नधरोत्तरोष्ठौ तारागणाश्च दशनाशमनश्च दंष्ट्रा लोभत्रपे च भगवन्नधरोत्तरोष्ठौ तारागणाश्च दशनाशमनश्च दंष्ट्रा लोभत्रपे च भगवन्नधरोत्तरोष्ठौ तारागणाश्च दशनाशमनश्च दंष्ट्रा. So now, here he says, Nissesha Vishwarachanacha Kataksha Mokshaha. Now, this entire universe has been created. Okay, Rachana means making. So this making of this entire universe, the creation of this entire cosmos, Nissesha, Sesha means remaining. Nissesha without leaving anything, the entire. The word Nissesha implies entirety. Nissesha Vishwarachana, Dwarapa, the making of this entirety of the universe. What did Bhagavan do? Nothing. Kataksha Mokshaha. Just by being, by Bhagavan, by his mere Bhagavan as the very reality, by his mere presence, and just by seeing, by his own swarupam of knowing, Bhagavan created this entire universe. So by mere presence, by the very nature of knowing, Bhagavan brings the entire universe into existence. Therefore, it is said, what is this entire Jagat? Kataksha Mokshaha. Kataksha Moksha. Kataksha means, the side glance is Bhagavan's. Side glance is Kataksha. And Moksha. Just by side glance of Bhagavan is what? The seeing is the whole Jagat, bringing the Jagat into existence. So Bhagavan, side glance alone, symbolizes what? Bringing the entire universe into existence. Seeing is creating. Knowing is creating. Bhattacharya says, Gvarapa, to be in the form of the universe, to have become manifest as the universe, and to bring this entire universe into manifestation, what did you do? Nothing. Just your side glance. Just seeing with your side glance is what? Bring the entire universe into manifestation. Nissesha Vishwarachanacha Kataksha Mokshaha. See, seeing is, knowing is seeing, seeing is creating. Creating is lending existence also. That is what is implied here. Kataksha Mokshaha. Bhagavan keeps his eyes closed, Jagat will disappear. Bhagavan just slowly sees the world by his side glance. The whole Jagat comes into existence. The entire creation of the universe is nothing but your seeing by your side glance. Kataksha Mokshaha. Karnau Dishaha. Karnau Disho Shviyugalam Tavanaskedve. Karnau, 2 years of Bhagavan. Now you have to see Bhagavan's ears. See, we have just seen after forehead and all that. We have seen Bhagavan's Randram we saw. And we have seen what Bhagavan's seeing. Just seeing is creating the whole Jagat. Then Karnau, 2 ears symbolize all directions. 2 ears stand for the space, but here 2 ears stand for all the directions. There is no south. When you see Bhagavan's ears, you don't need to search for where is south, where is north, where is east, west, northeast, southeast, southwest, northwest, all the quarters. All directions are Bhagavan. They are symbolized by Bhagavan's 2 ears. Karnau, Karnaha, Karnau. Karnau dishoshviyugalam. Karnau dishoshviyugalam tavanasike dve. Then again, Ashviyugalam. Yugalam again, as I said already, is a pair, a set. Ashviyugalam means two devatas. Two devatas who preside over the nostrils are known as Ashwini devatas. So Ashwini devatas presiding over the nostrils are symbolized by Bhagavan's nose. Okay, Bhagavan's nostrils. See, Nasika means nose. Nose is only one. But Nasike, when you take it as two, you should take it as nostrils. Nasika, Nasaha, Nasa means nose. But here, Dve Nasike means Bhagavan does not have two noses here. So two nostrils, the two holes. So Bhagavan, the both nostrils of Bhagavan's. So he says, Tava Dve Nasike, Gvarapa, your two nostrils, both your nostrils symbolize the Ashwini Devatas who preside over the nostrils. Ashwini Devatas are in the form of Bhagavan's nostrils. Means Bhagavan's nostrils symbolize Ashwini Devatas. So Karnau Dishaha Ashvayugalam Te Tava Dve Nasike Guruvarappa. Thereafter, Lobhatrape. See, Lobhaha, Trapa, the two words. Lobhaha, greed. Trapa means Trapa, shyness, modesty, humbleness. Here, modesty. So, Lobhaha, Trapa. Lobhaha and Trapa. What are these two phenomena? Okay, phenomena. See, Lobhaha is a phenomenon. Trapa is a phenomenon. Subtle phenomenon. He says, Bhagavan adharotaroštau. Lobhatra, Bhagavan, hey Guruvarappa, Bhagavan. Because Bhattadaji is addressing Bhagavan all the time. That's why we have so many words in vocative case in between. He also uses them to adjust the meter also. Hey Bhagavan, Guruvarappa, Lobhatrape adhara uttara oshtau, adharottaroštau. Oshtaha means lip. Oshtau, two lips. And how, which are the two lips? Adhara oshtaha, uttara oshtaha. Adhara oshtaha, adharoshtaha, uttaroshtaha. The two lips, upper lip and the lower lip, both lips symbolize these two phenomena, okay, greed and modesty. Lobhatrapecha, adharottaroštau. Can you believe? When you see Bhagavan's lips, these phenomena must come to your mind. What does Bhagavan's lips symbolize? One lip symbolizes Lobhaha, another lip symbolizes Trapa. We must see how he takes this symbolism. Then Tara Ganascha Dashanaha. Tara Ganaha. See, Tara is one star. Taraha also means a star. Tara also means star. Tara Ganaha means the innumerable, countless number of stars. The groups of stars, the galaxies of stars. Not one Ganaha, so many. Therefore, Tara Ganaha, the galaxies of stars. Tara Ganaha cha Dashanaha. So Bhagavan's teeth. If you see Bhagavan's teeth, you have seen the entirety of the galaxies of stars. Tara Ganaha cha Dashanaha. Guruvarappa, all your teeth symbolize all the stars. Then what? Shamanascha Damshtra. Damshtra. Shamanascha Damshtra. Then Shamanaha, here is Lord of Death. See, shamayati iti shamanaha. Okay, one who brings an end, one who pacifies, one who resolves, is one who brings an end is called shamanaha. So, damshtra. See, damshtra, the protruded teeth. We don't see that actually. The molar teeth. So, the molar teeth, the side teeth, in fact, we all have, but they're not protruded like demons. They're inside. So those, specifically those molar teeth of Bhagavan symbolizes Lord Yama. Lord Yama means Kalaha, the time factor. Time factor known as Lord Yama is the time factor personified as Lord Yama. The destructive aspect of time factor, or destructive means what? One who brings about change. The time factor in which all changes happen is symbolized as, personified as Lord Yama, is here symbolized by Bhagavan's molar teeth. Shamanascha damshtra Gvarapa, your molar teeth symbolize time factor, who's personified as death, Lord of death. Okay. So Lord Yama, so if you all the time see Bhagavan's molar teeth, you will become free from fear of death. Nissesha Vishwarachana cha Kataksha Mokshaha Karnau Disho Shviyugalam Tavanasike Dve Lobhatrape cha Bhagavan Adharottaroshthau Taraganascha Dashana Shamanascha Damshtra. Very nice. Maya vilasahasit Mayavilasahasitam Shwasitam Samiro Jihva Jalam Vachanamisha Shakunta Pankti Mayavilasahasitam Shwasitam Samiro Jihva Jalam Vachanamisha Shakunta Pankti Siddhadaya Swaragana Mukharandhramagnir-deva bhujastanayugam tava dharma deva Maya vilasahasitam shwasitam samiro jihva jalam vachanamisha shakunta pankti Siddhadaya Swaragana Mukharandhramagnir-deva bhujastanayugam tava dharma deva Maya vilasahasitam shwasitam samiro jihva jalam vachanamisha shakunta pankti Siddhadaya Swaragana Mukharandhramagnir-deva bhujastanayugam tava dharma deva Maya vilasahasitam shwasitam samiro jihva jalam vachanamisha shakunta pankti Siddhadaya Swaragana Mukharandhramagnir-deva bhujastanayugam tava dharma deva. Now here, Maya Vilasa Hasitam. Vilasa, when Bhagavan says smile, we all see Hasitam. Hasitam is actually participle. You take it as a noun here. Hasitam means smile. So Hasitam is a noun here, smile. We take it as noun. Vilasa Hasitam, the shining smile. Gvarapa, the shining face. Hasitam, Vilasa Hasitam, shining, the smile shining on your face symbolizes your own power. What power? Maya. What is Maya? Maya is the reality is endowed with the power of knowing. The power of knowing, just as fire is endowed with the power of burning, just as sun is endowed with the power of illumining, just as wind is endowed with the power of blowing, this reality, the abstract formless reality, is endowed with the power of knowing. That power of reality, unmanifest, is called Maya. And it is his power of reality manifest is what? Giving, lending existence to the Jagat, creating the universe. Therefore, it is said to be creative power. Guharappa, your smile symbolizes your unmanifest power of creation, the unmanifest power of knowledge, creative power. So when you see Bhagavan's, when you see Maya is imperceptible, you cannot see Maya. The imperceptible power of reality, known as Maya, implied by the term Maya, is symbolized by Bhagavan's smile. When you see Bhagavan's lips, see Lobha and Trapa. Then the smile, with the smile which you see, and Bhagavan's lips, no, the face symbolizes Maya. Maya vilasahasitam shwasitam samiraha. Samiraha means wind. One of the names of Vayu is Samiraha. Shwasitam, this Bhattacharya's beauty language. Hasitam, Shwasitam, how he takes the word Vachanam, use only all neuter gender words. How he presents the rhyming, the words. Shwasitam, breath. Shwasaha means breath. He may convert that particle into a noun. Shwasitam, Guharappa, your breath symbolizes what? The whole wind. When you see Bhagavan's nostrils, you can also see Bhagavan is breathing. And the breath is what? Bhagavan's breath is in the form of the Vayu Bhagavan, Vayu, the whole wind. The element wind is symbolized by Bhagavan's breath. Jihva Jalam, Bhagavan's tongue. Bhagavan's Jihva means tongue. Tongue symbolizes the water element. Bhagavan's breath symbolizes air element. Bhagavan's smile symbolizes that his power is endowed with the power of creation, the creative power, Maya. Then, Vachanam. In here, Bhattacharya is addressing Bhagavan as what? Hey Isha. Hey Isha. O Lord, so here Shakunta Panktihi. See, the Shakunta is a bird. What type of bird? Shakunta Panktihi. Vachanam Shakunta Panktihi. When the Bhagavan's speech symbolizes the chirping of birds, Shakuntas. Wherever you hear the birds chirping, you can this Bhagavan's speech. Siddhadaya Swaragana Mukharandramagnihi Siddhadayaha Swaraganaha. Swaraganaha. See, all the swaras, the varieties of swaras, the various swaras. That is Bhagavan's swaras. various swaras of Bhagavan's voice. Already we have seen Bhagavan's voice. The speech in the speech we have seen. The various swaras of Bhagavan's voice symbolize the Siddhaha, not the Siddhaha, Siddha Adayaha. All forms of musicians, artists, such as Siddhas, Siddha Adayaha. It's not Siddha, mean not simply Siddhas here. So Bhagavan's various swaras, various swaras of voice symbolize all forms of artists, all forms of people of all forms of skills, all forms of accomplishments, and people who have accomplished all forms of different forms of types of occult powers also. All of them, all accomplishes. Siddha Adayaha. Not only Siddhaha, Gandharvaha, there's various, we have various people of different accomplishments. People of accomplishments in various fields. They're all known as Siddhadayaha. What are they? They're all various swaras of Bhagavan's voice. Symbolize people of accomplishment in various fields. Siddhadeha Swaraganaha. Mukharandram Agnihi. Mukham means a mouth. Randram is a cavity. Mukharandram Agnihi. So Bhagavan, the cavity of Bhagavan's mouth symbolizes Agnihi. We've already seen Vayuhu. Bhagavan's breath symbolizes Vayu. Bhagavan's tongue symbolizes water. Coming to the third, okay? We have already seen water and air and water. Next is, what is Akasha? We have already seen Dishosvi Ugalam. We have already seen that. Now, also Bhavarloka also we have seen. Only the fire element comes now. Mukharandram Agnihi. The cavity of Bhagavan's mouth symbolizes fire element. Then Deva Bhujaha. Deva Bhujaha. So Bhujaha means arm. So Bhagavan's arms symbolize what? All the devas. They say four hand Chaturbhujaha, we always say Chaturbhujaha. All bhujas, all arms of Bhagavan symbolize all the devas. We talk about 33 crores of devas. So Bhagavan's four arms symbolize all the devas. Celestials. Stanayugam cha dharma devaha. Then the Bhagavan's Stanayugam. Stanaha is the breast. Yugam, again two. So the chest part where Bhagavan's two breasts symbolize Dharma Devaha. See, Lord Yama is also called Dharma Devaha. Time factor. So time factor is the destructive aspect of time factor. We already seen. The time factor as a protector of Dharma is said to be Dharma Devaha. The time factor as a protector of Dharma, Dharma Devaha, symbolized by Bhagavan's Stanayugam breasts. Let us see the verse again. Maya vilasahasitam Shwasitam samiro jihva jalam vachanami shashakunta panktihi. If you want to say samiro, then you can't have break. If you want to say samiraha, you can break it. Maya vilasahasitam Shwasitam samiraha. Otherwise, Maya vilasahasitam Shwasitam samiro jihva jalam vachanami shashakunta panktihi. सिद्धादयः स्वरगणा मुखरन्ध्रमग्निर्देवाभुजास्तनयुगं तव धर्मदेवः सिद्धादयः स्वरगणा मुखरन्ध्रमग्निर्देवाभुजास्तनयुगं तव धर्मदेवः I think we'll see the next class. It's all right. It's beautiful. You can see these really, we must be able to meditate upon Bhagavan.
Yeah.
Om.
Amma, I have a small request.
Om Narayana 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 Arta Vishanna Shithilascha Bhitaः Ghoreshu च व्याधिषु वर्तमाना Sankirtya Narayana Shabdamatram Vimukta Dukkha Sukhino Bhavantu Kayena Vacha Manasendriyairva Buddhyatmana Va Prakrute Svabhavat Karomi Yadyat Sakalam Parasmai Narayanaayeti Samarpayami Sarvam Krishna Arpanamastu Om